Gemini have just dropped Gemini 2.0 Flash Thinking, which is a new experimental model that unlocks stronger reasoning capabilities. This is completely free for you to try, and from what I can see, it's basically like an alternative to O1, O1 Preview, etc. So, for example, what we can do here is if we go to create prompt inside aistudio.google.com, we can test it out. So if we flick through the different available models, the one that you want to be focusing on is this one right here. It comes with multimodal understanding, reasoning, coding, and this is basically like being able to see AI think in real time. So the first place we're going to test this out with is creating content. I'm going to say create the best possible article on the keyword SEO optimization Japan, and then I'm going to add some source context, and I'm going to change the prompt so it says create the best possible SEO article. And we'll just run that and see how it performs. So if you look inside the chat here, you can see the thought process, which took 8.6 seconds. You can see how it's basically decided what it's going to write about. The thing you have to note about this is it's totally different to, say, using something like the normal version of Gemini or normal version of ChatGPT, which will just blast straight into action. Gemini 2.0 Flash Thinking Experimental Model is basically thinking out everything step by step. If we go on to gemini.google.com and we ask exactly the same thing here, I'm going to plug that in and I'll use the paid version. What you'll notice is that it's not thinking about the content, it's not figuring it out along the way, it's not really putting much thought into it, it's just getting straight into action. Whereas if you go inside Gemini Thinking Experimental, what it's actually going to do is it's really going to analyze here's the best way to write the article based on the keyword, based on the author persona, based on the CTA, and also based on the search intent and context of the article. Then it will plan out the article, and then it's started doing the content generation here. Now, if we actually look at the content itself, this article is super long and in-depth. Just created a 1,400 word article in literally one single prompt that was super basic. If you use exactly the same prompt inside Claude, it's only going to write 700 words. Not as comprehensive, not as in detail. And you can also see like a lot of fluff words in there. This creates much more comprehensive and detailed content from what I can see now. It requires more investigating, requires more testing, but from first thoughts, not bad at all. Now, we can't really compare it just to Gemini Advanced or Claude because these are completely different models with different use cases, right? So thinking mode on Gemini 2.0 Flash could really be compared to something like ChatGPT O1 Preview. If we go on to O1, as you can see, we'll use exactly the same prompt and then we'll compare side by side. Straight away, when I look at the formatting of both articles, I'm going to say that actually Gemini Flash looks a lot more interesting, right? Because it's actually inserted headings, it's bolded the most relevant parts, it's personalized this to google.jp, etc. Actually, if you look at this article, it's not really mentioned google.jp at all. Now, I don't know whether that's relevant to the Japanese market or not, but it just seems like this is a lot more tailored to me and also the situation in Japan. Now, if we actually look at the word count from O1 Preview, it's only 700 words as well. Now, what we can also do is I'm going to say, humanize this content so it bypasses AI detectors 100% of the time. And then I'm going to do the same inside Gemini Flash as well. And we can just see, okay, which one wins in terms of actually humanizing the content. If you look at the thought process of O1, it's so basic. Whereas if you look at the notes and the details inside Gemini Flash, it is a lot more comprehensive. It does give you a lot more information. So now what we can do is we can run these through ZeroGPT. So this is the text from ChatGPT. We'll plug that in and that comes out human written, right? So that's pretty impressive. Gemini Flash is actually beating ChatGPT, which means it's already more humanized and it's beating the AI detector, but also getting a better optimization score. It is impressive that number one, you can create very comprehensive articles from Gemini 2.0 Flash. And number two, the fact that you can actually humanize it in one single prompt. Now, what I want to test it for is how good is it at creating really nice websites, right? So I'm going to say, create the best website you possibly can, only JS, HTML, and CSS. So one page website, targeting the keyword, SEO cost. Calculator for Julian Goldie, brand colors below, persuade people to book a call here. And I'll include my funnel link as well, right? And again, you can see I'm just using a really basic prompt here. I think if you over prompt these reasoning models, it's just not going to be as effective. We've got the HTML back here. We'll just see how that performs. Now, of course, you can create these websites with Bolt.new, with ChatGPT O1, etc. So I'm going to plug in this information right here. If we pull them up side by side, so this is a website created with Bolt, and then you've got this website created with a Gemini Flash 2.0 thinking mode. It's quite cool that you can have some drop down boxes and that sort of thing. It's given more thought to the actual SEO cost calculator. It's considered like link building effort, content creation, keywords, and the project scope. But the design of the website is not that nice. Now let's see if the actual tool works. So it does work straight off the bat, which is great as well. And then also it has followed my instructions in terms of the brand colors and also sending traffic to our funnels. Honestly though, if I had a choice between using Bolt for coding and creating websites, or if I had a choice between using Gemini Flash for creating tools or websites, I'm still going to go with Bolt. It just seems to be better straight out of the box. You can create websites with Gemini thinking. I just don't think it's as good. On the UI side, it doesn't seem to be as good. On the actual usability side, it's good though. What I want to test now is I'm going to run this through ChatGPT and also through Gemini Flash thinking mode. And we're going to test which one creates the most optimized content, right? So this time around, we're not writing for usability, we're writing for the algorithm. So what we can actually do is we can create something super complex here just to see how this model deals with complexity. So I'm going to plug in all of these recommended LSIs and the amount of times to use them. I'm going to plug in the word count, and then I'm going to create an outline here. And then I'm going to take this keyword, and again, I'm going to say, create the best SEO article you can. We'll plug in the keyword right there. We'll take all of this, we're going to plug that in there. And then we're also going to go into ChatGPT 01 and we're going to go give it exactly the same prompt. Now, straight away, I really don't like the language inside this article. Like, it just feels AI fluff already. Maybe we'll have to rehumanize it in a second. It's definitely not perfect. There's a lot of red flags in this content. For example, it's included the LSIs, but it's also included the number of times it's used it inside the content. But anyway, we'll test it out and see how it performs. This is the content from Gemini Flash. It comes out at 61% topic score, which is not bad, right? ChatGPT 01 actually failed the first time, so let's just give it one more chance. Just be aware that if you're optimizing for speed, if you're trying to optimize for productivity, you'd probably be better off using, for example, like GPT 4.0 or Gemini Advanced. So we're going to take this content right here, pop that in, see how that performs. So that's actually performing below Gemini Flash, right? So for semantic optimization as well, actually Gemini Flash seems to perform better. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. What I've actually done is I've turned all of this process into an SOP so that you or your team can just follow it step by step, super simply. Additionally, what I've done is I've created 50 prompts to test Gemini, including my best content creation prompts, humanization prompts, coding, website development, SEO focused prompts, etc. Pretty much everything you can ever imagine. Now, if you want to get access to that along with 200 AI lessons on how to do SEO, how to grow your website, all of the best free AI SEO tools that I've created, then feel free to get that. And if you scroll down to the free SEO tools section over here, you can actually get all of the prompts and all the video notes that I've mentioned today inside this section called Gemini 2.0 Thinking Mode. Link in the comments description to the free SEO course. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments description. On this free acceleration session, you will get a free SEO domination plan where you'll basically get a custom tailored link building plan so you can generate more sales, profits, and leads from your website. You also discover the secrets of SEO link building and learn a tried, tested, and proven link building strategy. Additionally, you can also ask our world-class SEO experts on the call about any questions, problems, or challenges you're facing. You'll learn the best link building strategies for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building, and how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us. Feel free to get that. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.